which means green flag at the back. The 5-second board is being displayed. The lights are on. When they go out, the race will be underway, and it is now. There's a staller there. We can see the yellow flags already waving. I think it's another of the Tim Macro cars. No, it was 30 of Burton from 4th on the grid. He has absolutely plummeted down the order at the start of this one. Out in front, though, Killian takes up the running, but for the second race in a row, Isaac McNeil's made a blinder, and he's up to 2nd place.
Yeah, really good start. Certainly Imogen Radburn also very quick off the line. Oh, we've got private cars out in the grass here. And one of those is O'Neill.
No, that's the McGale cars.
That's the one of the back a bit further.
That's the 88 of Andrew Fitzpatrick, the Fitzpatrick racing machine, the nicely presented green and black car re-entering the circuit. And it looks like that might have been Samuels, I think, as well. So in and around that 3rd position in the McGale class, they've ended up going off the circuit down at turns 1 and 2. But out in front, race 2 Victor has pulled a little bit of a margin early on in this one. McNeil in 2nd, Radburn in 3rd position, and Kokotowicz has got away off the start. He has dropped a place, but he is underway, running strongly in 5th place. Strong start, though, from Dusk, from 7th up to 4th. This is the problem he had, though, last race. He made a good initial start, but couldn't make hay once the tyres came up to temperature. He is now on the tail of Imogen Radburn. Can he find a way by? He wants to do it sooner rather than later. He wants to do it quickly because the top 2 are pulling away. Imogen Radburn not looking too comfortable early on the cold tyres. She's dropped away from the 2 gents at the front, but again she's leading the female charge.
Certainly is, but she's certainly under attack from Dust there at the moment. Front 2 just starting to get away. O'Neill just in front there of Radburn. But she's a big look at the mirror to see where the count of the Tasmanian driver is there in Dusk. And there goes the train of open-wheel race cars heading down towards turn 1. So still Killian in front from O'Neill. And certainly Radburn now well and truly under attack there.
Just looking at the McGale class order, it was Samuels and Fitzpatrick that had the off-track excursion at turn 1. They are now well down 5th and 6th in class rather than 3rd and 4th in class. They are only ahead of Katsidis. Meanwhile, we turn our attention back towards the front because up the inside comes Dusk, late on the brakes into the turn 6 hairpin. Very nice manoeuvre there, made that look very easy.
Yeah, it looks like he's on the attack nice and early here. Dusk, so picks up that other position. Car's got plenty of pace, no problems about that. We certainly saw that yesterday. But can he get things right? He's had a couple of little minor incidents, certainly in the previous race, that did throw him out of position. So he heads up towards the climb there and now gets a little bit of a break from Radburn. And now he'll be on the charge in the 35 car there. The actual line marking entry there of Imogen Radburn. He's coming back down inside of turn 14.
How great is this, though? Open wheel racing in Australia. We have 3 different teams in the top 3. AGI Sport leads Valente Rosso, leads Tim Macro Racing. Open wheel racing in this country, very strong in this category. Great to have so many teams. And we do have a little team as well, a one-car team of the Fitzpatrick Racing outfit as well, so that just shows how strong this category is this year to have so many cars involved. Oh dear, yeah. I'm not sure if a bird was hit there around the final corner.
Something go flying off the track, I don't know what it was.
I thought it looked like an animal of some description.
I thought it might have been a bit of carbon coming off one of the cars. I'm not too sure, but you might be right there.
I hope you're right, to be honest. As they go around turn number 1, Killian has not been able to pull away, has he? Couple of tenths faster than McNeil on the last lap, but it was Dusk who, let's not forget, made the move on Radburn. Also went on to set the fastest lap of the race. So Dusk is certainly the fast one out there at the moment, but he's dragging Imogen Radburn into the fight as well. Now she's got her tyres up to temperature. She's matching the boys at the front.
Killian with a little bit of a brake lock there on the entry there at turn 6. A little bit of smoke at the back of the tyre there, a race leader. So a little bit later on the brake pedal there, heading down towards that section. So Neil giving chase.
I'm glad to see Kokotowicz at the tail of this 5-car train because, as we say, stalled at the start of race 1, didn't start race number 2, but we saw him race 1. He had pace, he just didn't start there effectively after the stall. And we are now seeing that he is able to keep up with this group, which is great to see. A good end to his weekend, a positive way anyway to end.
Yeah, certainly will be. So there's our race leader there with Killian. Well, Neil's much closer this time around through that section. So he'll be on the challenge in a minute too. We've seen plenty of this up the front of the packs throughout the weekend. There's been lots of positional changes. And I reckon that's going to happen maybe in this lap because Neil certainly looks like he's got plenty of pace at the moment. He's now right up behind our leader. He's looking for the challenge there.
Up the inside.
Just got the nose cone tucked underneath.
He's got a wash out of understeer, so watch now. Dusk will get the run on the pit straight. He's had to pull out to the left-hand side. That's unfortunate for him because McNeil has the tow from the race leader. So he's using the tow from Killian to his advantage and, in fact, might swing up the inside of him. Up the inside into turn number 1. He turns defence into attack. Great move there from the karting champion. McNeil up to position number 1 and nearly followed through by Dusk. Side by side on the exit of the corner. Yes, Dusk has made his way through the AGI Sport car. What's happened to Killian? He's falling like a rock in the water. He's down to 5th. He has been really shoved out and hung out to dry. Out to dry in a rainstorm, quite frankly. He has plummeted down to 5th position at the start of this lap.
Well, from the lead position. So I don't know whether he had some sort of issue. Got a car in the pits there, car number 3 there. So that's the car of Jesse Jane Samuels there. And one of the AGI Sport entries. So he's into the pits early. So we mentioned there with McNeil, our new leader. So let's have a look at the moment. There we go. So now we're looking at Darcy might be doing a bit of the same. Now he'll charge and get towards the lead. Not quite close enough this time around. Things really do change up the front, don't they, Dan?
Yes.
In this category. Things can change very quickly.
McNeil, though, has bolted away. I think Killian's got a problem. He's dropped off the tail of this pack. Killian is certainly nursing some sort of issue. Look, there he is.
Yeah, he's back right off there. You can see very distinctively the gap off the back of that pack. So he might be looking for pit lane, I would suggest.
Through he comes. I'm just going to say, I'm not sure if there's front wing damage on the front of the car. No, it looks all right. So really not sure what's gone on there for our race 2 leader and our race 2 winner and leader for much of this race. Goes across the line 4 seconds behind the race leader in position number 5. Well, this race has flipped on its head. McNeil led for much of race 2, but was caught late on by Killian. Is he going to get redemption in the final race? Well, Dusk is going to have something to say about that. He has stormed from 7th place on the grid, let's not forget, up to be where he is right now in 2nd position. He won yesterday. He wants to do it again. The number 35 machine, the Tassie, the Tasmanian, is done very well in karting, both in state competition and in national competition, is flying out there on the circuit at the moment. Last time by, though, he was a little bit slower than McNeil by about half a second, but that was all with all the changes of position. It's hard to really read into last lap times.
That's correct. So if you find a bit of pace, very strong down this part of the circuit. Gap just starts to narrow up a little bit. But yeah, we're still Radburn back in 3rd position. Looks like she's got herself settled in. But things can change very quickly in these races. We've seen it throughout the weekend. Oh, a little bit of a slide job there from our race leader through there. A little bit of understeer there.
Oh,
the curb too. Dusk was on the top of the curb too there at 16.
Using all the road. Couldn't use an inch more than that, or else he'd have been grass tracking 2 wheels through the grass. But we focus on the 35 of Harrison Dusk. Car racing debut this weekend. Did compete in the Ferrari Driver Academy finals late last year in Sepang. So clearly already on the radars of some notable racing teams, and you can see why with the way he has flown through this field like a knife through butter to be in 2nd position, and he's catching the former karting star who himself is making his racing debut this weekend. These are the stars of this sport. Where will they go? Who knows? Will they go over to IndyCar? Will they head over to Formula One? Maybe even the World Endurance Championship or Supercars? That's one of the great things about racing at the moment. There's many pathways to take. But one thing we do know is there is a lot of quality open wheel talent on the shores of Australia right now in front of our eyes.
Just take note there, the fastest lap of the race has just gone there to Harrison Dust there on that lap, on the 5th lap. So he has found a bit of pace there inside that lap.
400ths faster than the race leader. They are matching each other out in front and just beginning to edge away from Imogen Radburn. As I say, she was the highest performing driver in the series returning this year, and she has her eyes set on Formula Academy, following in the footsteps of Joanne Ciconte, who's gone over there this year. And she really does have her sights on that, and she is a fantastic young steerer, is Imogen Radburn. And she got a podium finish yesterday for the first time in this series, and she's continued that strong form on into today's action as well. So another podium for her earlier on. In fact, a career best 3rd position again earlier on today. So she's doing really well this weekend. But at the moment, she's just losing touch with these top 2. What's the margin as they come across the line this time by? Another 10th has been taken out. Fastest lap of the race once again from Dusk in car number 35. The official margin, 0.612 seconds. But it's now getting to be close enough where the margin doesn't mean anything. It's all about positioning the car. Where are you going to place it, trying to make the move somewhere around this racing circuit. McNeil leads Dusk, but it is all to play for. There's still 10 minutes to go.
Certainly is. Certainly Dusk is certainly slowly but surely catching our race leader. But as you mentioned, the track position is important. And talking about track position, a couple of other cars coming through, the 31 car, the Marode, and the 3 car there of Samuels.
So Samuels is the one that came into the pits at the end of, I think it was lap number 1, certainly one of the early laps. So he is a lap down on the car that he is chasing, which is a bit of a shame for the driver who has done a bit of car racing, albeit couldn't be any more different. Samuels has done a bit of racing in sedans on Speedway, so I'm not sure what advantage that'll give you in the AU4 category, but nevertheless, racing experience in cars, which a lot of these guys don't have.
No, it's certainly a different cup of tea Speedway compared to this stuff.
Maybe that's why he took to the grass at turn 2 on the opening lap. He thought, oh, that's it. That's the grass and the dirt that I'm going for.
And Dust just dropped the wheel out over the curb there too, so pushing a little bit harder just down through that section. And Radburn there also starting to drive a little bit defensively, because obviously Jokovic there getting a little bit closer. So he's been circulating, so they're virtually matching lap times there also. So no advantage given or taken there.
First time in quite some time, McNeil the faster of the leading pair. He was 0.3 faster than Dusk, so the margin is back out in the blink of an eye, out to 0.9 of a second. But it's ebbing and flowing lap after lap, almost sector by sector. At the moment, there is still a lot to play out in this motor race. There's 8 minutes still left on the clock. Oh, bit wide there from Kokatovic. That'll cost him momentum all the way through the fast sweeper and into the turn 6 hairpin as they move on through the Katsitis Magale Formula 4, who goes down a lap in the number 23 machine. I note that Morgan, she did make the start of the race. She had to start from pit lane, but she did so. Georgia Morgan has moved up past a couple of the Magale cars and into 12th position. But it's been a challenging weekend for her overall. She did, though, score some good points in race number 2 earlier on today, but the stall at the start of this one means we've not really seen her true pace. She's stuck behind the Magale of Lane in the number 21 machine, Chloe Lane. So a couple of ladies out there racing wheel to wheel.
There certainly are. Oh, that was Radburn out there on the grass there on the exit of turn 13 too. Pretty significant too. Big cloud of dust come out the back of that race car, just on the other side of that catch fence. So that's going to drop it back into the clutches of Kokatovic.
Here we are. This looks like a battle on the racetrack. However, I think it's still the Samuels car, the number 3 car, a lap down directly behind as they come on through Crofty Corner and the run towards turn number 13. So this is the number 6 machine of Wilson, and that is not Stewart behind. Stewart is in a white machine, the number 73 car, so that is definitely Samuels directly behind. But nevertheless, these two did have a good battle, a ding-dong battle in the race. I think it was yesterday, the number 3 and the number 6. But good to see that they are continuing to battle, albeit one lap apart. This is the old McGale chassis that many of you will be familiar with from the original Formula Ford series, currently being led by Marold. That there is the number 88 of Fitzpatrick, who had that off-track excursion earlier on, and he's honed back onto the tail of Stewart in car number 73. That's Diago Stewart, the driver, the 14-year-old kid, who's going to turn 15, as you say, Mark, in just a couple of days' time. Will he get a bit of a birthday present? Well, we'll have to see. A podium finish. He's going to have to fight for it if he wants it, that is for certain, in the closing laps of this one. As you look back to our race leader, Isaac McNeil, driving in the Tatus chassis, the Tatus F4 T421 Gen 2 machine, originally homologated back in 2021. It's got all the latest gadgets that you'd expect. Safety-wise, it's got a halo. Oh, off the track.
I just thought I just spotted that earlier. There was a car buried down there.
That's Lane. That's Lane.
That's
she was
Lane
fighting with
there.
Morgan.
Well, this will bring out the safety car, no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Now that's well and truly in a very dangerous position on the runoff there, on the crest there at turn 16. So that will definitely signify a safety car here.
Through they come to cross the line to complete lap number 9 of this race. The the AU4 cars, I'm calling it its old name. AU4 cars getting a lot more racing mileage than some of the other categories this weekend. Longer races, 3 races. But look, Dusk was doing all the attack early on in the race. However, the car looks like it's fading late on. Not sure if they've altered the tyre pressures to try and make hay early and get good track position. But now he's there. He looks to be a bit of a sitting duck at the moment, which is a real surprise for our race 1 winner, coming under huge pressure from Imogen Radburn. What can she do? Can she go up the inside into turn number 6? No, not able to do so. Dusk defending that one off very cleverly, and will hold on to second position. But I didn't see this battle coming a couple of laps ago.
No, how things change. So another battle is about to begin. It looks still green. I thought we might have seen a safety car, but not at this moment. Interesting point there. But certainly Dust starting to fall back into the clutches here of Imogen Radburn. So very, very close indeed. So that is obviously second and third position. And it's going to be game on, certainly down through this section of the track. Imogen will try and get that car tucked up on the inside down there at 14. She's not quite close enough at this stage. So this is where the stranded car is. There might be just a local yellow down there. And that car's parked up, so they're not going to be too concerned about that at the moment. Go past the lane, stranded car down there in the kitty litter.
Kokotowicz has joined the fight now as well. So while in the middle sector through the high-speed loaded corners, Imogen Radburn not able to stay on the tail of Dusk. I think a little bit of dirty air washout affecting the car, but now she's on the pit straight again. The dirty air becomes your friend because it means that you have a slipstream down the straight towards turn number 1, forces Dusk to go right to the inside line. And she's not able to go around the outside, but she'll get a great run out of the corner. Can she do anything with it? Maybe at turn 3, a late dive up the inside? No. She goes for the outside to get the cut back on the exit of the corner. Brilliant racecraft from Imogen Radburn. She draws alongside Dusk, but again, she's on the wrong side. For turn 5, she gets the cut back, the switchback. Will she dive up the inside at 6? No. Dusk wise to that one in the Tim Macro racing machine. This is high quality racing.
Gets herself on the outside there at turn 7. That's not where she wants to be. Very difficult, virtually no passing opportunities in this section of the track. So she'll just tuck in behind Dust there again. And Coco de Vich there, very patient. Oh, gee, got right up behind Radburn there as well under brakes. So second, third and fourth position also in Sunday, all closed up. So with a minute and a half left in this motor race, still the challenge is on for second position. Certainly a race leader's up and away there, Isaac McNeil. 3.5 second gap on the previous lap, so he's got a nice little buffer.
Before we get on to pit straight when the move could be made, I note that Killian's mechanical issues have got worse. He has now slipped down to 8th position and only a couple of seconds ahead of Morgan. So a day that started so well for young Noah Killian, it's not ending well. Sadly, some sort of mechanical gremlin costing him dearly out there on the race circuit. But here we go, onto the pit straight once again. Equal run around the final corner. Here we go though. This is where the slipstream comes into effect. Radburn closing on the run to one. Again, identical. Dusk all the way to the inside and sweeps back to the middle of the track, but he locks the rears there temporarily. You could see him working the wheel, trying to keep the car facing in the right direction, and it's going to leave him particularly vulnerable now around this section of the circuit. But he learned his lesson from last time. To leave the cutback open, and this time he sees off the challenge. But Radburn, what can she do into 6? Nothing is the answer, because once again Dusk driving defensively, but he's not doing anything wrong. He's defending cleanly and correctly.
Exactly right. Bit of an instant replay from the last lap as far as positions are concerned here on this section of the track. So Dusk still hiding off all the challenges here for Radburn. She certainly had her moments, but we're starting to get into the last part of this race. So we've gone into negative time here. So we might get another lap in. So where is our race leader? He's got over a 5-second lap lead now, while these others are still trying to sort each other out. There's still Dusk holding off the challenges from Radburn. And here they come, back inside of turn 14, back inside the bowl here.
Killian's fall through the field continues. He's now the last person on the lead lap and may well be lapped here on the final lap of this race. He's fallen behind several of the McGale class cars as well. But here we go, they're about to start the final lap of the race. Who's your money on here at the moment? Is Dusk going to hold on? Is Radburn going to sneak on by on the final lap? Or is Kokotowicz potentially going to pick up the pieces? We're going to find out in 4.95 kilometres. This is the best run Radburn's got so far. She's already got her nose in front down towards turn number 1. Dusk's going to have to be last of the late breakers if he wants to hold on to the place.
Oh,
he is, but Imogen Radburn says, no, I'm taking it no matter what you do. Swings around the outside and moves up into second position. A fantastic pass.
Coco de Vich too had a pretty good look in there while that was all happening, just tucked in behind. So he's also very close up behind Dusk as well. So he's just trying to hold on to that third position to get himself on the podium for this race.
Big lock up.
A big lock up too, that driver I just mentioned. So he's braking much later as well, trying to get past Dusk here. That's Coco de Vich there. Sun blazing off these race cars inside this last lap. So this is possibly another pass, may come up inside this last half lap. We're about to find out once we get back into our passing opportunity corners, a little bit further down the track. And McNeil once again has also increased his lead, and he'll be looking for the checker flag in just a few moments.
Samuels has got past Katsidis for 12th position on the final lap of this race. So there's still a few battles further down the field, but we cannot take our eyes off this, can we? It has been an absolute thriller once again in AU4. A name change in the off-season, but what a category it has turned, it has evolved into in the rebranding of the series. Brilliant racing here this weekend, and we have our third different winner. Isaac McNeil comes across the line to greet. No, we're going another lap, I think. Oh, there is a checker flag.
Check it up there, hiding up on the sign. Now that will be confirmed that McNeil will get that victory.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I didn't see the checker flag. Wasn't waving too briskly in the breeze, but I just caught it in the corner of my eye. McNeil then taking the victory in that final race of the weekend. Imogen Radburn in position number 2, getting past Dusk with a fantastic move on the final lap. Kokotowicz threw everything at the number 35 but came home just shy in the end. Good to see Burton come across the line in the top 5 as well. 21 seconds behind our race victor. But we turn our attention to the dominant force in the Gen 1 class this weekend. The number 31 machine, Jensen Marold, has been in a league of his own. He comes across the line, swerving across the line to take the class honours in that category. A local South Australian doing it in at his home racetrack.
Maybe delighted that all the pit crew down there cheering him across the line.
A very, very good Carter is Marold, finishing 4th in the National Cadet 9 Championship and won the SA Karting Championship on several occasions. But here they come across the line just behind. That's Wilson. Wilson, sorry, has already gone through. And then we see Morgan, Stewart, and as well Fitzpatrick will come through shortly. Here is Fitzpatrick, who has made his way by Stewart actually on the final lap of the race. So a change late on in proceedings there. Fitzpatrick makes his way onto the podium. A very good result for the youngster there in the number 88 machine. And let's not forget that is a privately run car, that one. The number 88 car is part of the Fitzpatrick racing operation. A great pass from him late on in the day, just 15 years of age. He only made his racing debut earlier on in the year, taking part in Formula Open, and that was just to get himself ready for this weekend. Well, Mark, I have to say, AU4, what a start to the season.
Fantastic.
3 different winners.
Isn't that great to see?
Yeah.
Points well and truly shared amongst the championship at this round. And it's always great to see a category not dominated by a single driver at every race, but all separate, different winners. And it's great to see. And giving these young drivers a nice opportunity to see the front part of the field and get a nice little bag of points. Well, that's it for the AU4 category here this weekend.
Certainly is, but they will be back, Mark, for their second round here in just a couple of months' time. Round number 2 of the series will be part of the SEM Champs as well, July 12 to 13. Round 3 at Phillip Island in mid-August before they head to Sydney Motorsport Park to finish off the season in late August, and a round in September to finish. Thoroughly enjoyed having them here at the Bend this weekend. Can't wait to see them again in a couple of months' time. Who's going to prevail? We don't know. That's one of the great things about AU4 in 2025. We're going to catch our breath. We're going to need to, quite frankly, after that one. We'll be back on the other side of this with some state racing, Circuit XL Trophy on the other side of this.